I'm here to talk about the catalog, the Land's End catalog. And I did not bring a catalog with me to an AI conference for fear I'd have my credentials revoked at the door. But I did bring some representation. So what you see behind me here is a representation of our catalog from, we'll call that the mid-'80s. But the Land's End catalog has been its primary marketing vehicle up until more recently than I'd care to admit, since 1963, when the brand was founded. So to put that in perspective for you, that is the Mad Men era of advertising and media, so you can imagine how much the world has changed. And the thing is, like, the catalog really kind of hasn't. It does the same thing. We put it together, we mail it, we put it in a mailbox, and it comes back, and people buy stuff with it. I have a very passionate relationship with this catalog. It is a wonderful representation of our brand. It is a physical manifestation of our brand. It's a very powerful tool. I love it. But I also hate this thing. It is slow moving. It is ponderous. It is non-personalized. It's all of these things here. The catalog comes along with an extremely slow monolithic process. For a brand like mine, who needs to be trend relevant and show up in the market and be able to be nimble with our assortment at any given time, that's a really difficult vehicle to work with. So I am constantly looking at ways of either blowing this thing up if it's a day when I'm mad at it, or exalting it if it's a day that I'm happy with it. I began to think of ways that maybe AI could help us here. I know enough about the process. I'm enough of a experimenter myself that, throwing a few pages together and getting AI-generated slop creative that just wasn't scalable wasn't going to be the answer to move this vehicle forward. But I thought maybe the right way to do it is to take the opposite approach. Maybe we just slow the whole process down even further and make it wait until we get to market and then build a catalog from there. That's because we have this other vehicle, right? We have the website that is essentially our product brought to life. It has all of the components of a catalog within it. It has home pages that are editorial images. It has product pages with product details. It's got headlines on different pages that could essentially build the catalog. And often we do use catalog imagery here, but catalog starts way up here. We are essentially closing Christmas now. I'm styling January now in the catalog. That's just not a really tenable idea. So I came to Noah and James and said, all right, what can I do to just eliminate the catalog process completely and wait for the website to launch and then build a catalog from the website? Can we just simply forget about everything that we did over here, wait for this to launch, and then be able to turn around and say, like, hey, I want a catalog today that there's a storm front coming to the Northeast, pull data from the site and build me a catalog that I can get in the mail in 5 days. So I came to them with that dilemma, and they came to me with this, which I was like, what the fuck is this? So they essentially educated me on the concept that there are all these different layers to AI. And the good news is, starting at the bottom here, we have reams of brand tokens. We have deep brand guides that tell what our voice is. We have deep brand guides that tell us how we lay out our assets, what our art direction is, how we build our brand on a day-to-day basis. So we have all of these tokens that exist. So they began to educate me on tools and agents and how do we build these things from here. They put together a program, like, okay, so here are more tools that they put into our program. So again, days go by, weeks go by, we go back and forth. They come up with all these different ways of setting up things. They built this ontology of how we connect things on our site. And the first thing that came back, and this is one of my favorite things about AI, and I say it to my creative group all the time, I want AI to be able, as a creative director, to follow my direction. It doesn't really do that. It's a creative, right? It has that point of view to it. So you have to go on the journey with the AI. And one of the first things along the journey that we found was this voice tool that the guys were able to create for us, which had unexpected benefits. I think I pressed this again to make it play, so I'm going to do that. So they built the tool so that we could input our voice in here. And in this case, it's going to give you a demo of okay, I want to create a catalog. Make me a catalog of men's sweaters, write some copy that emphasizes blah, 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 and enter it in. And you'll watch as it comes up behind me. First, it generates the copy, which is cool, right? It goes a step further, and it brings in all of these calibrated voice techniques that we put in on a level of earnestness, on a level of like wit, all these various different ideas, so functional, quippy, commercial, and we built these tools that allow us to generate very unique brand voice. And going back to that 1963 idea, Land's End's voice has been a very important part of our brand. So it can just generate within our voice almost instantly. This was great, and we were excited about this, but the impact that we saw was, okay, good catalog tool, nice progress, but what I can really do with this is, for example, we're sold on Amazon as well as our website, as well as Nordstrom, as well as wherever. Each of those individual sites, Amazon in particular, has a different format that generates the best search results. So what I began to do, and my team began to do, is we take our copy from our base website, drop it into this tool, and say to the tool, generate the best copy for Amazon. And it would spit back out what would be on Land's End would be a drifter sweater, a branded name. On Amazon, it becomes 100% all cotton crew neck, blah, 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 keyword stacked elements. And we just ran all of our copy for Amazon through this tool from our base website, recreated it on Amazon, and saw a really instant impact on our sales on Amazon. Double-digit growth. So a really quick and really ROI positive investment that didn't start where we thought it was going to start. And that was a really cool outcome for us that we enjoyed. So where are we on the journey? We got the voice. That's great. We're still working through the catalog. You can see how we're working this through. We're still on this journey, but what's happening is pretty cool. So I'll show you a demo here of where we stand on the actual catalog build. And so this is what it's doing is I can simply input, create a catalog of men's sweaters, blah, blah, as we said a moment ago. It searches the site. Not only does it search the site for what we have, it's also, if I ask it to, it can search for trends in the market. It can scan Google search results and say, I'm going to apply blue because blue is popular in the market. It can apply crew neck or V-neck or whatever it is. And it gives this list of products that spits back out at me, products that are relevant for the market at that moment. I can go in and it can select all these images, put it together, and then it builds with, again, that tool set. We inputted thousands and thousands of different catalog templates from decades into the machine, and now the tool can spit out a catalog template. Now, my point of view is it's not really ready for market yet. I don't think that this actually does what I love about the catalog, which is all that deep brand storytelling and rich assets. It's not quite there. But I can tell you it does just as well as a PLA ad does. It does just as well as some of our search feed ads do. It does some really interesting stuff. So at this stage in the journey, and it's still working back here behind me, but in minutes it puts together the layout for us, which was a huge step forward. And I do see a day when we can take this incredible process and actually apply it to, I'd be comfortable dropping that as a postcard at this point. I haven't done it yet, but we will soon. But I'm not totally there on the catalog. But within another generation, probably by the time we see each other next year, I think we're going to be at a place where we can really do a really nice version of a catalog that is much more quick to market and get us to a positive result there. What we learned along the way, honestly, like any creative process, you got to embrace the journey. That's huge, and I think AI is so important. If you go in expecting a certain outcome and you don't take the wins along the way, that's a miss. So we took a really big bite with our biggest vehicle here, and we went along on the journey with it. We went in with a broad spectrum of possible outcomes, and we're refining to specificity. And overall, that chart that I showed you at the beginning when James and Noah brought it to me, moving from just agentic work into actually having orchestrators that have various different tools in its toolkit to pull it together is the next big step for us, and it was a big win here. So I think that's my thing. Thanks, guys.